that's why it's really important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my God.
Yo! Who is this Degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
Really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Tonight's book isn't about hype, luck, or motivation. It's about control. Unlimited power is the idea that the biggest leverage point in your life isn't money, connections, or intelligence. It's your emotional state, your beliefs, and the way that you interpret reality. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to this here episode number... Oh, fuck, what episode is it? Oh, geez, 81 of the Degen... Number 81 of the Degen Roundtable Book Club. I'm going to be your host for tonight. My name is Will Stevenson. I'm a tower climber. I travel around the states knocking over TV towers. And in my free time, I read books and I talk to Degens such as yourselves. I'm joined tonight by my fantastic partner in crime, the creator of the book club himself, our very own Mr. Zenith, the digital investor. Zenith, for you guys that don't know, is the government and legal analyst of the Degen Roundtable. He's here to tell us that we are all breaking the law and that he knows his rights and that they took our jobs. So what's up, broski? It's good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you as well. Always a pleasure. I know it's been a little bit since we've done one of these, but it's always good to get back to it.
Hell yeah, man. It has been a while. And that's completely my fault, because every single time I thought it was gonna be like, oh, I'm totally able to host today. It's like, just so happens that that's like the worst day in tower climbing history, like 3 times in a fucking row. So we've had a long time to read and reread and check out this book before. I think that last week, I want to say last week, I was breathing in like very small bits of sand and galvanizing and carbon monoxide chop saw exhaust until about 8 o'clock at night, chopping up this goddamn monopole that would not come out of the ground. That ended up being 5,000 pounds heavier than the 3,000 pounds that we thought it was. So, 8,000 pound pick. The crane was like screaming at us the whole time. It was like, wah, 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 fucking shit going on everywhere. But we made it. It's good. You guys don't care about that. You guys want to hear about this awesome, fantastic book. So let's talk about this book. Unlimited Power is a book by Anthony. I haven't even asked you how you're doing, bro. How are you, Zenith? What's up? What's new and exciting with you, man?
I am doing well. Just doing what I do, hanging out, playing some golf here and there, and then trying to keep up to date with everything going on. I mean, in crypto land where we typically stream, the big question is still at hand of, is it so over or are we so back? And the jury's still out. So a lot of interesting conversation going on over there. We've been covering some good stuff with Brendan on Sundays as well. So very, very excited to keep the ball rolling. But, it's life. We're getting towards Christmas season. So work's slowing down a little bit, but at the same time, still trying to keep up some stuff before the year rolls over. So nothing too crazy. And then outside of that, still been playing a little World of Warcraft at night when I have a few free moments. So the grind continues.
Hell yeah. The grind continues. The grind never ends. And that's a little bit of what this book is about. Is it? The grind never ends. It's about the journey. It's not about the destination. Yada yada yada. The same. Like brush your teeth, put on your shoes, like look both ways before you cross the street. Like this book is just chock a block full of obvious advice. But yeah, bro. The grind never stops. So I hope you're ready to keep on grinding as life continues. And we're gonna keep grinding through these damn Degen Roundtable Book Clubs. It's fucking awesome, man. I enjoy this journey. Even if it's just the 2 of us chickens left, we're still having a fun time, still doing tons of learning, and we're the ones that are winning. You guys get to hang out, and the 4 of you guys that are watching right now, I love each and every single one of you. The four of you guys that are watching, you get to listen to us run our mouths, but me and Zenith are the ones that are actually winning, like reading all these books and stuff. So I would greatly encourage you guys to read these books and talk to people as well. Pretty much all the books that we've covered in book club, there's not a whole lot of bad ones. There's some that are pretty long. There's some that are a little bit unnecessary. There's some that are fun that teach you how to, do battle with squirrels and things like that. And there's some that teach you how to find a really nice keyboard with PVC keys and stuff that will allow you to type super fast. But all that's neither here nor there. We're gonna get into the chat motherfucking shout outs because my boy Josh is telling us that he loves us too. So, ladies and germs, it's time for the very best and most favoriteest part of the show. It's time for chat motherfucking shoutouts. You guys already know what time it is. As you can see, you guys are chatting to us. And so we're going to chat right back to you. Starting from the bottom, starting from the most recent, we don't normally do this. We're joined by Mr. Hexagon Lost in Asia, who gives us the crisp and fine salute. Good to see you, Mr. Hexagon Lost in Asia. Semper Fi Delis. I know you're not a Marine, but I'm going to say it anyway. So there you go. We've next got Mr. Josh, who says, love y'all babies. Fucking love you too, broski. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Moondog has hopped on in here. There's a documentary on Netflix at one time. Not sure if so or where it might be these days, but he watched years ago and read this in his books even more years earlier. Yes, Tony Robbins has been putting out just like some fantastic content for a long time. And I think that like this is just a really good starting point for a lot of people in life is realizing how personal power works. And this is like the bright and happy side of Machiavellianism and of neurolinguistic programming. This isn't about like controlling other people. This is about controlling yourself. So this book is super duper fantastic. So Bang Bang Boom Boom Gangsters, Tony Robbins, Not Your Guru is a great supplement to this. Or Tony Robbins, Not Your Guru is a great supplement to this and his other works, especially for Hexicans and Richard Hart followers. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that Richard Hart got that he threw into Sci-Vive was from the inspiration that was found with Tony Robbins. So lots of good stuff in there.
Yeah, one I wanted to shout out because hey, we like the guy. We're not missing nobody. Moonpilled Rational Optics says book club gang. Good to see
I
you,
didn't skip over you.
always.
Oh, you're at the very bottom. Yeah. I started like a couple seconds before you had put that in there. But yeah, I'm gonna get to you, Moonpill. We're going the opposite direction this time. We are going upwards instead of downwards. And I do want to say, unlimited power is also a quote by Emperor Palpatine. So that's he got his inspiration from Tony Robbins as well. Emperor Palpatine is known to say, one person with belief is equal to a force of 99 who only have interest. Just kidding. He didn't say that. That was Tony Robbins, but I thought it was funny. Continuing upwards in the trajectory, we've got Mr. Kenturian rolling in here right before the start of the show. He said, maybe it's the extra chromosome talking, but I can't say unlimited power without imagining shooting lightning out of my hands. Absolutely right. We've got the unlimited power gang in the house. And now, Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics, we're scrolling right back to you. Book club gang, good to see you, amigo. Welcome. And let's see. Anything? Yes, we are going full dark side, and that's why we skipped over you, broski. So it's very good. But yeah, welcome, everybody.
One more from Moondog. He said the trash to shit books ratio. Equio? The trash to shit books ratio gets you to better recognize and appreciate the good/great ones if you take the opportunity. It's true. I mean, little spoiler for all the Chainsaw Man folks out there, but this is kind of one of the things that happened in that manga and anime series was two of the characters were like, well, let's go watch a bunch of movies. And they were like, wow, most of these are trash. And the last one they see that day, they're like, okay, that was damn good. And then they kind of have a disagreement later on. It's like, well, if you had a perfect world, would there still be bad movies or are there only good movies? And it's like, well, how do you have good without the bad? But
there is a great quote by a wonderful man named William Shakespeare, or a group of people, I suppose. And I've been saying this a whole lot lately, but it's nothing is good or bad, but that we think it's so. It falls in line with a lot of what Tony Robbins says, and I think actually he says that quote somewhere in the book. But it's like you get to decide what's good and what's bad up here inside your head, and that's what this whole book is about. It's about giving you the power to decide, like, hey, is it good? Is it bad? Somebody can think that all of these fantastic chainsaw movies are crazy cool and awesome, and other people could be like, ah, no, they all suck. And it's just like, when you eat too much pizza, you get sick of pizza. So it's like it's good to throw some broccoli in there every now and again. So I can agree to that point. Anyways,
I think it. We also have the question of the hour.
Ooh,
Are we doing the end of year book club review again?
wow, is it already the end? Holy fuck, it's the end of the year already, man.
That it is.
God damn, dude, it feels like we just did that.
The answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. The question is, are we doing it next week or the week after? Because if I'm looking at my schedule, I think next week is the last Friday. It is the day after Christmas. So I don't know how timing works out for everybody. But if anything, I feel like that's probably the time to do it.
I'm fucking down. I think I'm
down
supposed.
as well.
I think my friend is working that day, so yeah, I should be able to swing. I think that my last work day is Wednesday, the day before Christmas Eve. So it'll be a good time. End of year book review. Yeah, let's do it next Friday. Sure, why not?
There you go. Boom, scheduled.
It'll be great. There you guys go. We do it live. End of year book review. Man, how many books have we covered? So we've covered probably I don't even know. I guess I could go to the Telegram and take a quick little peek-see.
I've got the YouTube pulled up right now. Let's see.
Oh, that's probably way easier, yeah. Oh, I renamed everything, so those aren't even going to be accurate in the Telegram. Yeah.
Episode 47 was our tier list. So the first book we did after that was Curse of the High IQ.
Oh, okay.
So that was episode 48.
Wow. So 48 to 81.
I think it puts us at 33 books for the year.
Yeah, that's not too shabby. 33 weeks out of 52. Wow, actually,
it's more than half. It's more than half.
We are going more than half. Maybe slacking a little bit in the will department of like, hey guys, stuck on a tower. Sorry, can't host right now. But we do what we can. We're rocking and rolling. And speaking of rock and roll, let's rock and roll right on into the description of what this book is. Any final thoughts, Z, before we hop into that part?
Nope. Just looking at some thumbnails of old. I remember you and I hopped on and did a one-on-one Christmas show, and then I made the thumbnail for it and just photoshopped Santa Claus hats onto us. That was funny. Oh, memories. Man.
You should send me a screenshot of that whilst I go over the summary, because I want to see that. I love it when Facebook sends me like, oh, these are your memories of the last year, or like when Google Photos puts together a little compilation or something. Those are my favorite. I love little memory triggers and things.
There you go.
But anyways, let's read through. So I did a cool thing with this book as well. I took the YouTube file and I played it at like 2x speed while recording it. And then I ran the entire book recording through the AI summarizer thing. And it turned out a really good, because normally I just ask ChatGPT like, hey, bro, make me a book club for this, that, or the other book. But it doesn't like have the entire book as like a set of words, it's just going off of what people say on the internet. And, excuse me. And for this one, I was able to record the entire thing and then run it through my little the same thing that I do over at Walk the Block, the same thing that I do for the Degen Roundtable Dungeons and Dragons. I run the audio file through the summarizer and the transcript maker, and then it makes me like a really great summary. So let's hop right on into it. So for those of you guys who haven't checked out Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins, it's basically it's a book that's designed to like help individuals and help team members and help like people in all walks of life gain more personal power, which is separate from like like power as described in Machiavelli's The Prince. Not quite separate from the idea of power in the 48 Laws of Power. The 48 Laws of Power is all about personal power. Machiavellianism is all about influence. Influence is your ability to control other people. Power is your ability to control yourself and to control everything that's going on within your own life. So it's very like self-focused as opposed to like outward focused. So that's what this book is about. Brief summary. It's a guide to achieving personal and professional success by mastering one's own mind and body. The book introduces the concept of personal power, defined as the ability to take consistent, effective action. It argues that success is not accidental, but the result of specific, replicable patterns of behavior. By using the principles of neuro-linguistic programming, readers can learn to model the strategies of successful individuals, control their emotional and physical states, overcome personal limitations, and achieve their desired outcomes in any area of life. The central message is that we can consciously direct our own brains and behaviors to create the life we desire, moving from passive reaction to empowered action. And that last sentence in there, moving from passive reaction to empowered action, is, I think, the thing that like is the difference between successful people and just like surfing through life in mediocrity. Most people are reacting to things and not making decisions. People that take empowered action are the people that turn the gears of the world. They're the people that like create the big businesses, the ones that run for office, the ones that, you know, make a footprint and change the world and make a difference. So if you're a person that wants to make a difference in the world, then this book is for you. All right, so now we'll go into like the core concepts of the book. There's a couple parts. I want to say it's a 4-part book with a whole bunch of chapterinos. Yep, 4. Yeah, 4 parts. So there are 4 parts to the book, and I'll just kind of summarize. I'm not going to read the entire thing for it, but the first part of the book is about the foundations of personal power. So it's based on the ability to act, and he's got a nice little 4-step a little 4-step process in there. But basically, it's about taking consistent, effective action, which is the single most important factor that separates high achievers from those who only hope for success. One of the things that he says in there is the difference between a hoper or a dreamer and a winner is the amount of action that they take. And then he also like talks in there about overcoming challenges and things. And personal power is not necessarily about avoiding challenges, but it's about like taking them and using them and reframing them for growth and empowerment, using your challenges and what normal people would consider failures to actually be, these are life lessons. These are things that like, oh, it's not a failure, it's an unintended outcome. So it's like, I didn't fail the test, I simply learned a way not to do it. It's kind of like that famous quote of Thomas Edison. It's like, I didn't fail 1,000 times, I learned 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb, or something along those lines.
Nailed it.
So go ahead.
Oh, I said you nailed it. That is the correct quote.
Yeah. All right. So next up in the part 1, Foundations of Power, he talks about the ultimate success formula, which is a 4-step process. Step 1 is you got to know your outcome. Step 2 is take action. Step 3 is develop sensory acuity. And step 4 is change your approach. So it's basically like, know what you want, shoot for it, get calibrated, and make the changes necessary. So that's essentially the 4-step process for the ultimate success formula. The next part is about the power of state, which is behavioral governance. So it's essentially your state is the sum of your mental and emotional condition at any moment. And that's basically what determines your behavior and how resourceful you are. There's 2 components you want to keep in mind. You've got your physiology, which is like your actual body posture, your breathing, your facial expressions, your muscle tension, the way that like you are physically, corporeally interacting with the world. And then you've got internal representations, which is essentially like your inner monologue, and it's the stuff that you say to yourself inside of your head, and the way that you process words and the way that you think about things. A lot of people, they will adopt physical postures of, you know, confidence and like, you know, assertiveness or authority or whatever the hell. And then other people, they'll have like really, you know, timid postures, and they'll speak poorly. So there's a physical aspect to it. And then there's also like what's going on inside your head. If you think positive, if you think authoritative, if you think confident, then it projects much better than if you think, you know, poorly or like not tenacious, timid, I guess, for lack of a better word, or submissive or things like that. So there's the states of the body and stuff. All right, and then the next part of the book. So this kind of like just covers the general, like the foundations of the personal power. Part 2 of the book is all about the technology of change. It focuses a lot on neuro-linguistic programming. But the technology of changes, this is how you like implement these things to be better at doing life stuff. So the first part he starts off with is neurolinguistic programming, which is essentially the how language, linguistics, both verbal and nonverbal, affect our nervous system, and how we can systematically program this to understand what we're doing and to get better results and stuff. So it's all about controlling your state. It's all about using the tools to direct your own state of mind and emotions, and it allows you to turn fear into power to put yourself in a positive, resourceful state regardless of external circumstances. If you guys remember The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort, he talks about smelling the boom boom sauce while clenching his fists and saying yes, really strongly. He's got these 3 different anchors. He's got a physical one, he's got a sensory one, or a smell one, and then he's got like an audio and also like a speaking force one. So like you hear it and you say it at the same time. This is just like one of the things that you do. So about controlling your state. Next
This
is about
part-
modeling. Oh, go
Real
ahead.
quick. NLP is a very large part of the book, and it's honestly probably something that people take a look at and kind of just hand wave away. Is kind of just like the thing of like seeing the girls on TikTok are like, I'm going to manifest my stuff or whatever. It's like, no, there's more to this than that. It's not just Jordan Belfort. It's not just Tony. And
Tony Robbins, yeah.
Tony Robbins, thank you. But another very famous book, another person that's actually done a lot of research on this is Jordan Peterson. This is one of the things that he talks about in 12 Rules for Life, which is it's the idea of if you position yourself in certain thought, acts, words, kind of mentality stuff, it's literally going to affect the rest of your body. It's a weird thing that the human body does, which is that you can either shut down or empower yourself based on what's going on. But the basic premise, again, pretty much is your thoughts shape your words shape your actions, that kind of stuff. And if you can get all these in alignment, it's not going to automatically give you the result that you want. But what it's going to do is it's going to optimize it. It's going to put you in an effective position to accomplish what you're trying to do. So NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that is really one of the big cores of this book. Again, it's not just manifesting or doing the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing where they have the vision board and they go destroy and remodel somebody else's home. No, it's not that. It's just understanding that you can set yourself up for success and that you have a lot more control over your mind, your thoughts, your bodies, just based on trying to stack these things effectively so they work together instead of being discongruent. So is this a thing that you can take argument with? Sure, it is. But at the same time, there's a healthy amount of research into this, and there are people that have studied it, not just in humans, but obviously Jordan Peterson, famous for the lobsters. So there you go.
There's also something to be said about like when people believe that the thing that they're being told is true, then they will act as if it is true, and that will get them the results. So like even if you don't believe in neurolinguistic programming and you give it a shot and you're like not really trying for it, like you're going to get worse results than if you did believe into it, if you did think about it, if you did like, buy the soup before you eat it sort of deal. So there's tons of different opportunities or tons of different like tools for people out there that they can use to better themselves. This is just one, and it's the thing that Tony Robbins focuses on. So that's why yeah. All right. So let's see. So basically so that is the neurolinguistic programming. The second part of the technology of change, the next part of the technology of change is all about modeling the path to excellence. So modeling is you look at successful people and you just do what they do. If you notice that your grandfather, who you really respect and makes a lot of money, like has really good posture, and he looks people in the eye when he talks to them and he shakes their hand firmly and other stuff, like you just start doing the thing that the people that you know are successful do, and you will start to become similar to them. Not exactly like it, but that's how you like model success. If you want to learn how to throw a good punch, then you watch people that throw good punches and you start making your body make the same shapes as they do when they throw those cool punches. So that's the general gist of it, but there's like 3 basic keys to modeling. The first is the belief system, the second is the mental syntax, and then the third is the physiology. So the first part, and he had a really cool story in here very relatable for me personally, because I was a Marine Corps marksmanship instructor. But he talks about how he's never fucking done shit with guns before, and he gets hired on by the U.S. Army to go and basically create a better pistol program. And he's like, I'll blow you guys out of the water, and if I don't triple your results or whatever the hell, then you don't pay me. And so he's never shot a gun before. He's never done anything like that. And they give him the best shooters and stuff. And the first thing he does is he figures out, what are these guys' belief structures? How do these guys believe in things that gets them the results that they need? Like, what's their mindset like when they walk out to the range and they put the pistol down range? What are they thinking? What are they believing? What is their mental belief systems? And then, like, that's the first thing that a person has to adopt if they're going to model the behavior of someone else. The next is the mental syntax. So this is basically like, you just replicate their sequence of thoughts. So and how they use their senses. So you do the same thing that they do, not just from the belief standpoint, but also like, this is the order of operations, right? So his good example in the book is the dog bit Johnny, and Johnny bit the dog. It is the same exact words, it's just in a different order. So that's the mental syntax. So you got to make sure that you, one, adopt the right belief structure, and two, you do things in the same order as the other people do. And then three is, it's about duplicating their physical state. It's about physiology, which is, this is where you assume the same posture, you assume the same breathing stance, you do the same expressions, you do the same arm motions, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the modeling part of the part 2 of the book. And then after that, it comes into reframing, which is all about changing meaning you change meanings of things in order to change their state. So if I guess we're not gonna worry about examples. I'll just read through the thing, because we'll get stuck on this all day long. The concept is that no event has inherent meaning except for the meaning that we assign to it, right? So that quote that I said by Shakespeare, nothing has any sort of meaning other than what we assign to it inside of our brain, because things are subjective. We interpret the world through our thoughts and our eyeballs and our thinking and feeling process. Like, all of these things happens inside of our head, and we have a degree of control over how we choose to interpret that thing. If I get if I eat some scrambled eggs, and there's some eggshell inside the scrambled eggs, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking disgusting, that's the worst thing ever. That'd be one way I could look at it. Or I could be like, wow, I didn't expect that. What an interesting way to eat some eggs. I guess I have more calcium in my bloodstream now, or something like that. Or like, holy smokes, I didn't know I could get that many cuts on my gums from all these sharp eggshells, or something like that, right? We can change how we choose to interpret the same events and the same actions and everything. So there's two types of reframing, right? You've got content reframing, which is it's changing what experience means, and then you have context reframing, which is finding a different context where a perceived negative behavior would be useful. So content reframing would be like, you're taking failure and you're turning it into like, hey, I'm deciding this is going to be a learning experience. Instead of a failure, I'm choosing to make this into like I'm learning something. One of the things that Mossad does with their agents is they train their agents to say, instead of like, in my head, oh God, I've failed this thing because I didn't do it, what they actually say is like, update, new data received, I got it, now it's time to move forward and do the next thing. So that's just something that one of the special forces do out there. But yeah, so those are the two types of reframing, is content and context. And that's it for that. Next up, we got the submodalities, which is about the building blocks of experience. Submodalities are specific qualities of our internal representations, which is like the how we think, so like brightness, size, color, volume, location, yada, yada, yada. The application of this is, when you change these qualities, it directly changes your emotional state. So making a negative image smaller and dimmer reduces its power, while making a positive image bigger and brighter enhances its impact. So this is kind of like a little like mental trick where it's like, imagine your audience is naked when you're up on stage and you're talking to them. It's like, by imagining them naked, it's like, I am reducing the judgment that the audience can give me, because I can see all their wieners and all their vaginas hanging out everywhere. And so I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them judging me as I'm up here being a public speaker, because now you guys are all negative. So that's just like a general idea of some modality. You can also think of bad guys as being smaller, or you could think of good things as being bigger, et cetera, et cetera.
Could also say
The next,
aim small, miss small, aim big, hit big.
Yep. Aim small, miss small, aim big, hit big. That's good. One of my favorite things Artie used to say is big sky, little bullet. So
there you go.
Freaking love it. The next one is about anchoring, and we covered this a minute ago, talking about The Way of the Wolf with Jordan Belfort. It's about anchoring. So this is creating stimulus response triggers. So this is like, you take the boom boom sauce, and you smell it every time that you have a fantastic time, until you have a Pavlovian response to smelling this fantastic boom boom sauce. So it's kind of like Pavlov ringing the bell doesn't make the dog slobber. It's the food, and the dog's thinking that they're going to get the food, and they hear the bell enough times that they associate the bell with the food. And so you do that enough that eventually it sticks in your mind to something like that. So that's the stimulus response trigger and anchoring and things of that. All right, then we get into the third part of the book, the third part out of 4. Right. So this is the 7 traits of success and communication mastery. So the 7 fundamental character traits of a champion, of a successful person, are passion, belief, strategy, clarity of values, energy, bonding power, and mastery of communication. So those are and he goes into quite a bit of detail about that, but those are the 7. It's like one of the things that he talks about is like, oh, I love my little listicles. I love my these are the 5 things you need to do this, that, or the other. So he's got that, and then he's got a six set of beliefs for successful people. So first belief is everything happens for a reason and a purpose, and those reason and purposes make us better. Right. The second one is that there's no such thing as failure, only results. The third one is that whatever happens, take responsibility. A lot of these things that we're talking about, guys, is stuff that you've heard many times before in book club. So it's like none of this stuff is new, but it's all being condensed into one fantastic little book. 4, people are your greatest resource. 5, work is actually play. And then 6, there is no abiding success without commitment. All right. So commitment is the single most critical belief for getting success. And then he's got a whole bunch of meta programs. I'm not really going to get into those. And then he talks about building rapport. So matching and mirroring people, you duplicate a person's physiology, you talk the same way that they talk, you can get to be closer to them, and you can have better personal power over your interactions with other people and things like that. And then the final part of the book, part 4, is about goal setting and taking action. So the main part of this is the power of goal setting. So it's like goals give us the reason to do the things that we do in life. So if you don't have a goal, then you're just kind of putzing along most often. Most people are working towards something. Most people are trying to bring the ring to Mount Doom, or they're trying to blow up the Death Star, or they're trying to I don't know, kill all the Tyranids, or be the best orc mushroom, or something like that, right? There's all sorts of goals that people can have. Anyways, that's the power of goal setting. Next up, it's the 5 keys to intelligent asking. So this is when you're asking questions, or when you're asking yourself things. These are things that you need to do better questions. You got to ask specifically, being precise about what you want. You have to ask someone who can help you. You ask the right people. You create value first. So when you're asking a question of someone, you want your question to generate value. You want them to feel better as a result of listening to and answering your question. So a good example of this is you ask someone a flattering question. Like if I ask Zenith some stuff about Warhammer, right? Zenith is happy to talk about Warhammer. Zenith loves Warhammer, and Zenith loves showing off his knowledge about Warhammer. And if someone asks me a question about how to rig a crane, or how to shoot something, I'm more than happy to talk about it, because it's this is my passion. It's my subject matter expertise. Same thing with Zenith. When you ask someone a really good question about something that is their passion, they're happy to answer. And so it's you create value with your question asking. When someone says hey Z, what's 2 + 2? It's Okay, fucking idiot. Go Google it, or go like use a calculator. Stop wasting my valuable time with this asinine question. So when you're asking questions of people, like, remember to generate value. Next is asking with congruent belief. So this is, you generally believe that you will receive a positive answer, and then keep asking until you receive. Persistence is crucial. The next part of the goal setting is about a 12-step blueprint. And boy, howdy, I am not going to read all 12 of the. Actually, you know what? This is the last. It's the last part of the summary. So
Alright.
I'll go ahead and go through it. So 12-step blueprint for goal setting. Create your master list. Set timelines. Identify and motivate top goals. Refine your goals. Inventory your resources. Analyze past success. Define the person that you must become. Identify your limitations. Create a step-by-step plan. Find your models. Design your ideal day, and then design your perfect environment. And those are the 12 things that will turn your desires into concrete, achievable outcomes. And that, ladies and germs, is the not so short summary of a rather short book, which is free on YouTube, and you guys can get free versions on Audible. Zenith, I want to give you the floor, broski. Is there anything in there that I missed, or is there anything that you wanted to opine on?
I was thinking about saving this for a little bit later, but now is probably a good time. So
Sure.
we just went through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Can you apply this model to instantaneously become hyper successful at whatever it is you want to do?
Yes and no. So the yes answer is you will become successful in that you will get immediate results. If you apply this model, you will change your life. And like, that's one of my favorite things about Anthony Robbins, is that like, as soon as you start is when you start getting immediate results, and your life starts getting immediately better. Now, is this going to make you the best, burger flipper in the Southwest? No, it's not going to make you the best burger flipper in the Southwest. That takes time. Is it gonna like skyrocket you to the top of the Fortune 500 business companies list thing? No, it's not going to do that. But what it will do is it will put you leaps and bounds ahead of all of your competition. And if you employ these principles for a long enough period of time, you just see nothing but success. So it's like it's not an immediate gratification in the like, we're winning the war, but it is like you start winning battles right fucking now. As soon as you start implementing all of these things in this book, you immediately start winning. And the biggest and most powerful thing is the reframing. In my personal opinion, is learning how to interpret things differently inside your own brain in such a way that brings you more personal power, as opposed to takes power away from you. So I don't know. Did I kind of dodge your question there?
No, I think you might have hit it from a slightly different angle, but I think we're largely in agreement.
Mhm.
So I mentioned it before. I think this book is an optimization book. It is not a 0 to 100 one-step solution for everything. And I think that granted, there are plenty of books out there written by people that are just the get-rich-quick scheme of whatever it is, whether you're in real estate, crypto, anything else, whatever you want to call it. I think that it's very easy to lose hindsight of kind of the base position that he actually talks about in the opening chapter, which is that he was already someone who's working 80 hours a week, very skilled, very experienced, and even slightly decorated in his fields. But he felt like he was operating at 80%, couldn't quite figure out what the last 20% is. This book is the last 20%, or how he describes how he kind of figured out the last 20% to get it all just to mesh. So is it a get rich quick scheme? No. Is it this will immediately solve all your problems? No. But I think it's optimization. The reason that I say this is that he already talks about you have to start out at a baseline, and you already have to have something to work with. You're just trying to make that thing better and more optimized so you get further with it. So a few of the things he talks about, principles amplify skill, they don't replace it. A lot of the psychological stuff he talks about, he calls them force multipliers. It's not exactly like building from the ground up, but it's taking the existing things you already have and then figuring out how to make them work even better. Additionally, when he talks about kind of the neuro-linguistic programming, he's saying that belief and state of mind grant you better access to your existing capabilities. It's not going to grant you capabilities you don't have. That's the big grain of salt in this one. It's not the magic wand that grants all your wishes. What it does is it kind of unlocks your full potential.
Yeah.
Additionally, the modeling one was a really interesting chapter for me. So it's not just modeling like the physical and physiological stuff, but also he talks about modeling can be done for pretty much like your like skills and career and stuff like that, which is look at the people that have had success, try to emulate it, which will help you get a better understanding of what they're doing differently from what you're doing. And then that obviously if it worked for them, theoretically it could work for another person. So that's going to get you a better place. This part of the book actually comes up slightly early. But what it does is it's saying like, look, you don't have the answers. Someone out there clearly does. Maybe try doing what they're doing. The answer will lie in there. Again, it comes back to you can try to do that, but at the same time, there's also a certain level of understanding that has to come with it. It's the knowledge gap or the weird shaped chart, which is that you can either be someone who doesn't know anything about anything, you can realize how bad you are at something, then you can learn more and realize that there is so much more than you initially thought, and you can start working towards that mastery. I think that if you don't even get past that like first hump, it's not necessarily going to apply to you, because what you might end up doing is start modeling and replicating things that don't matter. So this is what I got out of the modeling chapter anyway. The author might disagree with me on this one, but I think that the modeling stuff in particular is very interesting, but at the same time, you can do it wrong, which is one of the pitfalls. And this is where, again, it comes back to you got to have some experience or some knowledge or some understanding to be able to effectively do the modeling. I think modeling is fantastic. In fact, you could argue that we on the channel are modeling larger, other very successful channels. Sure, you could argue that. At the same time, though, you can't just modeling without understanding is just going through performative actions. It's not actually pushing towards the thing you're trying to get to. So again, to wrap it into the overall argument, it comes back to the book is not going to solve all your problems. The book will help you optimize. It will help figure out the last few things you're missing. It will help you identify how you can work even better than you already are. And it continues a little bit. So he does talk about persuasion and influence. This is definitely like the charisma side of the things, which the NLP and just kind of like interpersonal relations, this works fantastic for it. But at a certain point, you do also have to kind of have that moment where the rubber meets the road, where if you want to do the networking, you want to work with people, you got to, again, go into the asking questions, which is like, are you in the position where asking these questions makes sense? Are you asking questions that make sense? Are you asking the right people? Are you asking at the right time? Are you asking for the right things? There's a level of competence that goes into that, aside from like you or I just walking up to Bill Gates and asking, how do we create the next greatest computer? It's like, we are not in the position for that. So it wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you kind of got to stay calibrated.
Yeah.
And play within your own field.
Does the overall argument make sense though? Which is like, this is not going to get you from 0 to 80, but it will get you from 80 to 100.
Yes. Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. And, if a person, I think that it will get someone a significant distance.
Oh yeah, it can have immediate effects, but understand you can use this throughout the entire process. But what this is really going to do is help you get to that next step, which is also going to require some sort of leveling up from skills, capabilities, access to capital, whatever you need, that kind of stuff. Like you can apply this stuff immediately. I'm not saying you have to be an expert in the field to make use of this, but understand that what this kind of stuff does is it sets you up in alignment to keep building on what you've already been building. So if you don't have much, you can't expect everything. You can expect the next bit, but then keep reapplying it and you can start compounding it.
Yeah, there has to be substance behind the action that you're taking in order for this thing to mean anything. If you just start doing this without any sort of, whatever, then it's like, what are you performing on? What are you doing right now?
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I think like an example of that is like you see people on Instagram or social media or whatever, we're like, here's my morning routine, and they wake up at 4 a.m. and they're doing all this random stuff, and it's like, I'm doing this to make myself disciplined and harder. It's like, okay, I guess you're mastering discipline over yourself, but don't kid yourself into believing that what you're doing is actually constructive towards an overall like thing that you're doing outside of just discipline. It's like,
my ice baths make me a better day trader. It's like, sure, bro.
It's like,
sure thing.
It's like, no, the ice bath did not make you a better day trader. Being a better day trader made you a better day trader.
Yes, and using these principles and applying them to day trading as opposed to like just going and doing an ice bath, or like if I have the discipline to drive nails through my hand with a hammer, like that, it's like, congratulations, you've shown you're disciplined enough to drive nails through your hand with a hammer. It's like, does that make you a better trader? Probably not. So it's all about being calibrated. It's all about having something to drive for and having some sort of goal, which is like, I think he ties up in the end of the book there.
Calibration's a really good word for it. Like, you got to be calibrated to understand what your capacity is. Because with the neuro-linguistic programming, the NLP, it's not going to magically make you someone you are not. It's going to help you be the best that you already are and can be. Yeah.
All right. It's time for some questions. Zenith, first question. The question I almost always ask: is there one particular part of the book that stuck out to you? Oh shit, you just answered this, didn't you? Damn it,
yeah,
with the modeling.
I really like the modeling. I think that is
Okay.
Even if you just wanted to like skim the book, I think that the modeling is a very quick and easy thing to just rip out and apply immediately. That's a good one.
Copy successful people, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not just that, but it's like, what are you copying? Why are you copying? What are you trying to accomplish?
It's very quantitative.
Yeah, for sure. The NLP stuff is the base of the book, but it expands a lot beyond that. It's just a good starting point. And if anything, I might even argue it's kind of like the hook for the book, about like what is the special sauce of this one? What is different? Why are you reading this book instead of the thousands of other ones of people trying to tell you that through my 12-step program you could achieve unlimited success and do everything you've ever wanted? It's like, okay, the NLP is a good baseline, and it is a good setup for the rest of it.
I'm going to talk out of my ass here, and I'm going to say that, and I have no idea if what I'm saying is true, but I think that Tony Robbins did shit tons of seminars before he ever sold the book. That's the thing that I know Tony Robbins from. Isn't from book sales. It's from doing seminars and fixing people. So I think that what happened is he took the stuff that he was teaching people in the seminar and bookified it, kind of like how Ricky took all the stuff that he was talking about on streams and, shitty bookified it into Sci-Vive. I think that that's what happened here with this one. And so, like, the whole like special sauce, what is the thing? It's like the thing that he focused on a lot in his seminars, as I recall, was like about teaching people how to fix their brains, which a big part of that is, again, the neuro-linguistic programming. It comes off it's a little bit more difficult to get that out of a book than it is in like a real life, like hands-on material kind of learning experience, something really kinesthetic,
Well, yeah, it's a whole dog and pony show. It's the mediums. Can you convey a lot through a book? Yes, you can convey a lot of technical information. Can you put on a show in person and make people like feel things and understand and entertain and wow? Yeah, absolutely. So it makes sense. And I do believe you're correct, which is like the first part of the book. He does talk about doing the seminars and stuff. Yeah.
We're gonna do a hard pivot here. Tony Robbins, one of his points in the book is that he postures that the emotional state matters more than intelligence or skill. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree? And why?
I think that I guess it would be a slight disagreement, which is that skill and, to go back to what I've said before, skill and capability are the prerequisite. The emotional state and the mental state will either make or break it. Because let's do the analysis here. So if I have a fantastic mental state, but I don't have the capabilities, I don't think that leads to success. Obviously, if you have neither the mental state nor the capabilities, you will not have success. If you have the skills, but you don't have the mental state, there's a higher likelihood of failure. Versus if you have the skills and you have the mental state, you have a much, much higher probability of success. So based on that, I would say that the skills and capabilities are a prerequisite. But at the end of the day, if you're psyching yourself out, you're kind of just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. And I do think that the little caveat to add to the end of that is like, without the motivation, people don't take the action. And the motivation generally comes from emotional state, whether it's like, charging towards a goal or like running away from the lion kind of thing. The emotional state is what drives us, provides the impetus. So if you can find a way to manipulate that and to create that where it doesn't exist, and to redirect it where it does exist into something that's helpful for you, then it can be true. And also, like, I'll quote Richard Hart, where he says that, like, there's a lot of idiots out there that are just super successful because they just keep trying and trying and trying, and they have that emotional drive, and they just keep figuring out problems and, like, brute forcing their way through it. It's like similar to the Alex Hormozy strategy. It's like, if you just keep trying, eventually you get really good at it, and if you just try more than everyone else, then you'll be better than everyone else. It's like the people that lose the motivation, that lose the desire to act. They can have all the intelligence and smarts in the world, but if they don't take action because there's no motivation, then it's just mental masturbation, and it disappears as soon as their gray squishy thing goes 6 foot under, and they start pushing up daisies and things.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, all the intelligence in the world amounts to nothing if you can't do anything with it. It's like the intelligence and the skill is good, but if you never take action, which is what the emotional state is designed to produce action. When you see the cougar jump out at you on the trail, whether it's a hot MILF of a cougar, or whether it's a dangerous lion that's going to rip your skull out, both of those things are going to inspire you to take action when you're on the hiking trail. And it's like they inspire you to take action because of the emotional state. And that's the thing, like, where it all derives from. So learning how to take power over that emotional state is what gets people. So, like, I do think that it's partially true, kind of like what you were saying. I would be inclined to agree with you. It's like, it's a half truth, and it's important that we talk about the other half, and important that we look down both sides of this knife. It sounded like you had a thought there.
Yeah, it's the half truth, like you said, because it has a prerequisite. It doesn't mean it's a lie. It just means that there's a prerequisite to it. But the exact situation which you described there, which is like your emotional state can be informed by your outside world, namely, you see the cougar, whether you try to pick her up at the bar or run away on the trail. That is stuff it is your brain trying to either save itself, or in the other case, probably procreate. But
there you go.
That is kind of like the basis of the neuro-linguistic programming. The human mind is malleable, but there are these base root systems, which are a lot of times emotionally based, but they're also instinctually based because of good old evolutionary psychology, which is that the human body and the mind and the nervous system has evolved over centuries or millennia at this point. And the ones that have survived are the ones that have adapted to it. Therefore, that means that all of us here are the product of some sort of input from the past, and that's exactly what it is. The great thing, though, is that the human brain is very malleable. So you can take this existing infrastructure and then try to get it to align with what you want to try to get it to do. That is the NLP. So, yeah.
Excellent. I like it. Quick personal question for you. Do you have do you have any current beliefs that might be empowering but also limiting you?
I would say it's maybe just like the belief that I can usually figure out pretty much most of everything because I've been able to do it in the past. And I guess some of the best backhanded compliments that my friends have ever given me is that I'm stubborn enough to always try to figure out how to do something. And that is the perfect level of autism to maybe become it's a perfect mixture of stubbornness and autism to be a business owner someday. So
yes.
like,
I've heard that before somewhere. It was like on a stream or something. So that's fucking great.
Yeah. I don't know. Like that's kind of just me though. Like I collect hobbies. I enjoy skill mastery. It's just something I've done for a long time, and it's kind of just a part of me now. So yeah, I'll stick with things long after some people would. And I'm not saying I become the greatest at it, but I like to think of myself as at least a 80th or 90th percentile person in most things, which is like, yeah, I've usually tried a thing for a while at some point.
What was the oh man, it wasn't Winston Churchill, but somebody was talking about, I think it was on the Richard Hart RH Max's Pulse Chain show, or someone was doing some sort of quiz or something, or like, what is the quote that Richard Hart likes? And it's persistence above all else is the thing that makes for successful people, something along those lines. So hey, if you're persistent enough and you stick with it long, I mean, shit, dude, look at us. Here we are, fucking 2 years and some change into book club, still fucking getting after it. Like, there's something to be said about the two of us knuckleheads here, continuing to persist despite all the challenges, despite the interruptions to the Friday nights. And it's like there's honestly nothing else I would rather be doing, but it's like it is tough to do something for a long period of time, and having the grit to just stick it out and continue on, keep charging on when it gets froggy. This is what separates us from the others. So I like that that's your your currently empowering but also limiting belief. So
I'd say it's more empowering, not quite limiting.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, for sure. But like, there is a smidgen of limiting. It's like, if I bash my head against the wall enough times, eventually I'll get through,
Yes, the downside is that I am the person that is willing to bash my head repeatedly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll survive.
There's something I want to touch on about, like, I want to move on to the modeling part of the question set that I got. And we can agree that modeling excellence is better than trial and error, right? Would you fall into that camp?
Yes. I think logically it makes sense as well, because
you're essentially like paying for someone else's mistakes or like you're skipping the mistakes by watching someone else, right?
Yeah, it's either that, or you could say you're at least getting a general direction from the other, versus the other is kind of just stumbling in the dark.
Spaghetti on the wall, kind of hope something sticks.
Exactly. Are there a near infinite amount of possibilities that could work? Yes. There's also possibly an even larger near infinite amount of possibilities that don't work. So, like, could you just repeatedly try something and hope you stumble onto the answer? Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Great. I would argue that that's somewhat how some of the largest and most impactful innovations and inventions in the world have come to be, which is they're the people that tried to do something new without direction. They're the people that, it's like, if you ask the horse traders of the late 1890s, people want better carriages. How do you fix that? And you say, well, we get better horses or better carriages. The answer was not create the Model T, that kind of stuff. So I do think that the reason the modeling works is because you're looking at what is already successful. It is a track record. It is provability. It is confirmation. It is saying that this thing works. Therefore, you could probably also make it work if you figured out how to do it, or a new twist on it that will make it work within the confines of reality, which is that, like, yeah, there's limited marketplaces for things. There's limited resources. So if you try to do the exact same thing, you're going to end up competing, but at a disadvantage. Or you could try to find a similar vein, but veer slightly off. So proven model at the core, but maybe slightly different twist to make something work differently. I mean, I would argue it's like all of social media and like YouTube and influencers and streamers, which is like, if there was only room for one streamer, all of us would be watching Asmongold. Because there's so many different avenues that you can go, that's why we have the absolute plethora of content to watch out there.
It's the like the Walter Cronkite kind of thing, right? Is that the comparison you're making? Yeah. And then everyone that models it just ends up like the same thing, I got another question for you here. So, like, what do you think the percentages of people that try and figure it out on themselves versus doing the modeling? Like there's a hubris aspect to, like, no, I'm not going to do what the other people are doing. I can figure it out myself. Do you ever fall victim to that?
I mean, a little bit, because it's like, I don't want to just be a ripoff of people, especially if, like, the goal is to, maybe be neck and neck or stand side by side with some of those folks in the future. And then if you get to that point by just being a direct copy, you've come up with nothing new and original. So why should you exist when the other is right there in front of you? So it's like, do we imitate some other people out there? Sure, absolutely. At the same time, though, I will still hang my hat on the fact that I don't know how many other crypto folks are out there doing a weekly book club. So
yeah,
it's
probably not many.
Does everyone in the world talking about, oh wow, reading books is so great, and like every 5 years people rediscover that books exist and they're fantastic? It's like, yes, they do. At the same time, though, I think that this is a little self-flatulating here, but I think you and I might have a a strong commitment to this instead of just being like, oh, there's a good book out there. It's like, no. We're getting to all of them eventually. Just you wait. We'll get to it.
We're going to get 52 books a year, 33 books a year, 33 books a year. I mean, shit, bro. Like, if you think about it, like, we can cover a fuck ton of knowledge and just barely scratch at the surface of all the things that can be learned. So it's like, there's a whole fucking big ass world out there.
I mean, that's one of the challenges of modernity, which is like, you and I could independently read a book 24/7 for the rest of our lives, different books, and we would never cover. We probably wouldn't even get through a tenth of them. So is there a lot of distillation that goes on? Yes. Do we have to figure out what we want to read? Yes. Do we have to have a focus? Yes. But at the same time, it's like, it's still worth it. There are still the books that have risen to the top that have something to learn. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to be covering next week, is which books in the Degen Roundtable Book Club have risen to the top. Somebody was asking me recently. I'm going to give them a shout out. They wish to remain private, but they're asking me, like, what's your guys' list of like the best books that you've ever covered? And I'm like, well, we happen to have a tier list at the end of the year, so I guess this could be a new little. This is the second time we've done it, so we're starting a pattern. Z, we've got something going on over here. This is how we get the long-term winner psychology, is we just keep doing the cool things over and over again. Speaking of cool things, I want to take a moment to do some more chat motherfucking shout outs, because we've had quite a few people hop on in here. Where the hell is there it is. I found it. I keep putting it in different places. It's time, ladies and germs, for chat motherfucking shout outs round 2. We are halfway through the show already, and I barely feel like we've even scratched this book. Actually, I gave it a pretty thorough summary. That was probably too thorough.
We've also hit some of the big topics. Don't worry.
Yeah. So we're joined just after we finished with chat shoutouts. We got joined by Mr. Funkmaster Hex himself, who says, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening to you too, sir. He also says, Christmas holidays are on. Drink is in hand, stream is in ear, and fireplace is on the TV. That's fucking fantastic. I want to give a shout out, by the way, to Funkmaster Hex. Shout out to you, sir, for losing 40 pounds over the last several months doing intermittent fasting. Yes, he had typed that into the comments, and I think that's fucking awesome, bro. So shout out to you. Reminder for everyone, hit that damn like button. Fucking put those drinks in the air, and remember that it is indeed a good evening. We're also joined by Arceus. Arceus says it may be more books than last year anyway, because last year there was about 10 books or 10 weeks of sci-fi. So yeah, totally possible. Almost certainly possible that we covered more actual books this year. And I know that I did Green Eggs and Ham and the Declaration of Independence all on July 4th, and we've done some short books here and there as well. So have we done War's a Racket by Smedley Butler yet? Has that been one we've done? Oh, okay. That's a good short little book. Tons of great short books out there. But the
only caveat to the counting is that we technically started book club in October of 2023, meaning that we had a few extra books from 2023 that slid into 2024. But at the same time, sci-fi was I want to say it was at least 5 streams.
Yeah, sci-fi was a big one. Sci-fi was a lot. Speaking of things that are a lot, we got a comment from our good buddy Mr. Josh, Mr. Slide 180, who says, "Try your hardest," and he's quoting the very eclectic and
a doctor,
a
scientist.
He reminds me of that quote by Robert Heinlein, where it's like, a man must butcher a pig, con a ship, plan an invasion, deliver a baby, cook a tasty meal, everything. That's Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins is the everyman, or not the everyman. Johnny Sins is the hero of every movie. So there you guys go. If you don't know who Johnny Sins is, go give it a Google and be quite pleased with the results. There you go. We got a chat here from Mr. Moondog, who says that people are worried about how we are programming AI of the future, where I am more immediately concerned with how we are programming the humans of the present. And this was a quote of himself, Mr. Moondog, from 2015. This is 10 years ago, Moondog. So a wise man 10 years in the past, even still to this day. We like it. And then he wants to remind us that there's a Hexagon who made a tool/website. Oh, excuse me, man. This is KFC. Where you can type in FUD or something negative, fear, uncertainty, doubt, for those of you guys that are new to the FUD word. You type in something negative and it'll spit it back the same info in a positive reframe. Can't remember it for the life of me though. So that's a cool tool. I like that exists. A reframing technique. Oh, excuse me. Wow, that came out of nowhere. I climbed a lot of tower today, ladies and germs. So excuse me there. We've also got Mr. Hex 647, the Flaming Turtle, who says hello all. Hello to you too, sir. Good to see you, Mr. Hex 467 or 647. And then also we're joined by everyone's favorite Pulse Jitsu Fast Abdul. I prefer the He-Man version of I have the power. That's a good one too. He-Man's a fun thing, but there's just something about unlimited power. You know, it's very iconic. But so is I have the power. That's very, very good options, man. We got a kick-ass show tonight, a kick-ass group of chatters and all sorts of fun stuff. But let's dive into the next part of the book. I have to scroll up because I have lost my questions. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I had the ChatGPT write me up a cold open for the show. I found them again. All right. So kind of bringing us back to modeling. Tony Robbins puts heavy emphasis on physiology, so like posture, breathing, and movement. Do you think that modern culture sort of kind of downplays posture, breathing, movement, and things of that nature? AI said that it does, but I don't know if it does or if it doesn't. And so I want to just kind of pose the question to you. Do you think that a lot of people these days are not taking good care of their posture, not taking good care of their movement, not taking good care of like their breathing and their just general physiology?
I would argue yes, because modern society, especially in the United States, is largely desk jobs, and then we go home and we sit at another desk in front of a computer and have the old tippity tappity. Then you have a small screen, you're trying to do the
I saw this great meme one time that it's like, oh, I'm done with 8 hours of bad screen, time to do 4 hours of good screen.
Yeah. It's a good one.
It's like, wow, what a way to think about things. But
yeah, for sure. To take it even a step further though, I think that some of the cultural and societal veins, especially the ones that we run in as the younger folk, as neither of us are below the age of 30 now. There's a great irony to that. But I think that there's definitely become a disillusionment with kind of like the mystical, the magical, the spiritual, that kind of stuff. And I think that you could even argue that people that do like the yoga and the people that get really into the hippies and the crystals and stuff like that kind of stuff is kind of shunned. Are there some good things to come out of that stuff? Yes, absolutely. Meditation and breathing, yeah, it can be a good thing. If you do it all the time just for the sake of doing it, you're getting very diminishing results, in my personal opinion. But I think that largely culture is kind of away from being into that stuff, and it kind of like mocks and makes fun of it a little bit. So yeah, your job will do that to you. The algorithms make fun of people that want to do that stuff. But hey, at least we're on all of our cool VTuber streams. Every once in a while, they get advertisements for good ergonomic chairs, so that you have your 4 hours of good screen time is at least in a good chair, hopefully.
Yep. And we got a comment from Arceus over here. Good posture and hamstring stretches if you could do nothing else. Yes, hamstrings are the I believe those are the ones between the butt and the back of the knee. So those are important as well. Yes, make sure that you stretch the hamstrings because they remain tight for most of the day while you're sitting at a computer pulling your legs back and things. So an excellent
I will say this. I made a critical error last Saturday night. I fell asleep on the couch watching movies. And now that I'm over the age of 30, that means that my back was absolutely wrecked. And has been for the majority of the week. I'll tell you what, though. Grab 2 of these bad boys, the old tennis balls, roll in the back. Not saying it's going to feel good in the moment, but it'll definitely help out. Stretching, very important. Oh, God.
Pretty sure hamstrings are the windows to the soul.
Show me your lumbar. I'll show you the man.
There you go. I like that. That's good. I actually went to a chiropractor for the first time ever in my life earlier this week, and man, that was a cool experience. It was this huge football player, a guy from like Louisiana, and I think he was like just about 7 foot and every bit of 250 pounds of like
Damn.
lean, mean fighting machine. And homie cracked my back so like crazy, and he was just like barely putting any force or effort on me. He had to be like twisted and turned on the table, and he was like, and it was like, holy shit! I did not know I could feel endorphins that type of way. Like, this is crazy, bro. And then he like threw those little electro zapper things, and I was going like, ring, ring. It was a crazy experience. So if you've never been to like a sports med or a chiropractor at some point, shit, I was even talking to Dr. H, the cryptopractor. Shout out to him.
Hey, yeah.
Dr. H up in Kanukistan, I believe he was saying he's a like 20 years experience chiropractor, and I think before that he was a medic in the British Army, I think attached to a combat engineers battalion or something like that. We haven't had him on show for a while, but yeah, chiropractors pretty neat for getting you to have a healthy bone snake and to fix your posture and to fix the physiology. So like that's an important thing. Like, chiropractors focus a lot on physiology. If you get a good one, of course, there's quacks out there. Just like, you've got good plumbers, you've got bad plumbers, you've got good lawyers, you've got bad lawyers, you've got good grocery store clerks and bad ones. You've got good chiropractors and bad ones. The good ones will focus on telling you how to have a nice, healthy bone snake roll up your back, and how to have good posture, how to walk better, how to sit in such a way that doesn't fuck your back up, and how to do all sorts of cool things. And they'll do the adjustments. So it's like, you find yourself a good chiropractor, you can work on your physiology and you can start feeling better. It's amazing, like the sort of things that people can do, just to like improve their life by like a 3x. Just changing the way that they sit down, changing the way that they walk, change the way that they like aren't hunched over their phones all day long or something like that. So
Yeah. Chiropractors that
duper.
claim to heal cancer by touching your bones, those are the ones to stay away from. The guys that
Yeah.
understand it's sports medicine, where if you realign the spine, you can get some of your muscles to loosen up because they're not fighting themselves all the time. Then combine that with a good massage therapist or muscle activation technique person. It's a good combo. So yeah, definitely helps.
Yep.
Make you feel better. You'll talk better. You'll sound better. Perform better. Boom.
I gotta say, the next part I want to cover in the book is the bit about like personal responsibility and stuff. And I think that this has been a theme throughout a lot of the books that I've been reading, Zenith. It's like about personal responsibility, whether it's the Jocko Willink book, whether it's Sci-Vive, whether it's this the Wolf of Wall Street book. Like, a lot of the books that we've been reading talk a lot about like extreme ownership, or the ideas of like take charge of everything that's in your life, sort of thing. I think it conflicts a lot, man. Oh damn, I just totally botched the question that ChatGPT had written. But do you have any thoughts on Tony Robbins' like view regarding personal responsibility and how it applies to today's day and age?
Yeah, so I think the book is more of the practical application. This is not a morals and philosophical book saying that you have a duty of personal responsibility to yourself, God, and country. No, it's not that. It's more of like, if you understand personal responsibility, you're going to understand that you are probably able to not control, but at least influence a lot more things you might have thought. At the same time, though, I think the author does recognize external factors and circumstances, which is why the whole caveat that we went into probably twice at this point about like, you can't just believe the stuff and expect everything. You got to have something going on before you can achieve the great stuff. But the personal responsibility in this book largely centers around the NLP. It's saying that you have personal responsibility for your mental state. You could even chalk it up to a little bit of like stoicism. It's kind of in the same vein, which is that you are in control of your mind and your body, and everything else is beyond you. So just focus on what you can have. What the NLP is doing is like, look, you're in charge of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. If you can get them to align because you're choosing to do so, that is how you can break out of the ruts and stuff like that. So again, it's personal responsibility, which I'm sure the people that have been tuning into this show for a while know that a lot of the books talk about this stuff, but it's really, the basic idea is just like, if you feel like everything is out of your control, it's probably because you're not taking control of the things that you're able to take control of. And this book it's right in the same vein. It's nothing world breaking. It's more of just like, here's one more practical way that you can have personal responsibility is a good thing.
Yes. And like, we just need more of this stuff in regular everyday life these days. Too much victim mentality, too much blame game going on, too much, oh no, you fix this or you fix that. It's like, nah, take charge of your own fucking life. You hit all the wickets that I was going to cover, so I'll just go ahead and move on. That was good though, bro.
Yeah.
Very excellent. Let's see. Ooh, there's a crypto angle. How does emotional state influence trading decisions, community leadership, or online discourse in crypto? Man, I could think of some places that could use a little bit more personal power when it comes to Hexaco, when it comes to the Bitcoin maxis, when it comes to arguing about on Twitter. Like, what a crazy place. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, social media is a crazy place, and I think that we understand that it is, and try to engage with it in ways that are only beneficial
Profitable.
to well, that too. I was gonna say beneficial to us in the community, hopefully, but
Yeah.
from the crypto angle, for sure, this ties in absolutely to a lot of the other trading books and investment books that we've talked about in the past, where it's all about that mental fortitude and the gut and the will to make good decisions and stick to them, or build a good system and stick to it. And then also understanding when things are going not the way you thought, and being able to put the ego aside and actually get out of the bad deal before it gets worse. This ties exactly into that. It's the mental fortitude, which is like, crypto's a volatile game. We know that. It's the most volatile thing, hands down.
Yeah.
So because of that, there are going to be some emotional highs. There are going to be some emotional lows. Is it good to feel the highs? Yeah, absolutely. It feels great when things go well. Is it also important to feel the bad things so that you understand not to do them again? Yes, but at the same time, you can't let the emotions drive the decisions. So
Yes.
the NLP is a perfect use case for this, which is that if you can get yourself in the correct mindset, it's not hypnotizing or gaslighting yourself to believe that no matter what you do, regardless of the information, you're magically going to come out on top. It's not going to do that. What it is going to do is get you to operate at maximum capacity so that you can absorb all the information, internalize it, understand it, and then make the best decisions you can without straying from the path that you originally created for yourself. This is like, seriously, the basic tenet of trying to handle the emotions. This is one of the tools that you can do to do that. The other could be experience. I think it's a very important one. The other is learning to turn off social media, or Mad Money if you're still following Jim Cramer on Legacy Media. It's
Good
that
old
kind of
Timothy.
stuff. Yeah. It's the emotional control. We've talked about it time and time again. A lot of the old school traders from back before even computers were around talked about this as well. The emotionality and being able to understand it and control it. And you're not controlling the markets. You're not controlling which direction things go, but you're controlling yourself and how you react to it. And that's where the NLP in this book is really going to help you figure it out, on top of all the other stuff you can do to do that.
And you had said something earlier that I really liked, and it made me write down this thought before it fleeted away from me. It's important to take in the emotion, and it's important to have the emotion and experience the emotion, but it's good, or it's not necessarily always good to let emotion drive the decision making process and drive the action, right? It's good to look out the window and see the emotion and be like, that's there, that exists for a reason, I should take that information in. It's not necessarily good to be like, hey, come on over and grab the steering wheel and let's see where we can take this puppy. You know, it's it's important to have the emotion, to experience it, because it's there for a reason. It's there for the fight or flight. It's there to, you know, elevate or de-escalate, and it serves a very good purpose. And let's be honest, like, people that go through life as robots, it's like they're not a lot fun to be around. So you want the people that can go through the highs and go through the lows, but you don't necessarily want the guy that's like, when he's experiencing the high, to like fucking grab the machine gun and just start fucking like blowing holes in the roof, or when he's going through the lows, like, just be like, you know what, there's a bridge, time to fucking jump off, or whatever the hell. It's important to experience the emotions, but not to let them drive the action, which is what this book is all about. It's about, this is how you deliberately drive action. This is how you give yourself more power to make good, conscious actions and good decisions, and to take in all the information and to reframe the things that would otherwise be considered bad and turn it into something good. You you alchemy style take this thing that's meaningless and you turn it into something meaningful using your little wet noodle up here. So that was the point that you were talking about there that I
Yeah.
wanted to
I believe the
double tap on.
callback though is it's the Muda.
The Muda?
Yeah, you gotta feel the emotion.
Oh, the Muda. I'm not sure I am familiar with this thing you're referencing.
Oh, you're very familiar with this. This is from the Toyota Way.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying some fake slang word from Dragon Ball Z or something.
No, I
Those
believe
were-
I have the correct word, but I could definitely be wrong. But yeah, it's from Toyota Way, where you even brought this up, where you're like, when things go wrong, they're like, no, you feel bad. You need don't go away from it. Feel the bad, and then learn, and then keep going.
Hansei, I believe.
Hansei, was it? Oh, I'm just
Is it
screwing up
Hansei?
words.
Hansei. I want to say it's Hansei. Self-reflection and introspection is Hansei.
That sounds about right.
Kaizen is continuous self-improvement. Damn it, I'm gonna have to find it. But yeah. Anyways, there's a bunch of Japanese words. One of them's the right one. Could be Muda, could be Hansei. It's not Kaizen, so we know that. But like the point is, it's important to like experience the motion to take the lesson from it and then to move forward. Just like Arceus says it perfectly over here. About emotions, feel and understand, don't dwell on it. Yes, it's like use it for what it's meant to be and don't overuse it, don't underuse it, right? There's a nice balanced line that's important to walk. You don't go too far on one direction, you don't go too little in the other direction, and you'll just be hunky-dory. So
I am
most
incorrect.
excellent.
Muda is the word for waste or inefficiency.
Oh, Muda. I thought it was a Dragon Ball Z bad guy before you had said the Toyota Way. That's awesome.
Whatever.
Oh man. But yeah, like to bring it back to emotional state in the crypto sphere, basically all the money in the crypto sphere and all the money in the stock market is made by people who don't let their lives get run by emotions. They happily take the money and take the value that the people who do let their lives get run by their emotions just run about and just like throw it all away, right? They sell the bottoms, they buy the tops. It's like the people who don't let their emotions run their decision-making processes are the people who are generally more successful. Not to say that it's like a perfect thing, but if you take a look at like all the people that have won, they're people that aren't like crazy emotional, or they got really lucky one time or something. But the people that win consistently over a long period of time, those are the people whose behaviors are important to model. And when it comes to like community leadership and online discourse, when you're speaking to anybody or when you're in any sort of position of leadership, it's important not to be operating on your base instincts, because that will get people to not be trusting you. So there was actually a really good quote about authority from Brandon Joe Williams. I posted in the Degen Roundtable, but I was thinking about that a little bit. But anyways, that's not important. Neither here nor there. We're going to continue on with some more of these. Some more of these questions. The next one's about language and framing tone and narrative. And this question, it's asking like for a specific instance, but I think I just want to talk about the idea of framing tone and narrative. The question is, can you think of a time where language alone dramatically shifted sentiment in a market or community, rather than the substance of the language itself? And I think that there's a bunch of what are you snickering about over there?
We do this approximately every 45 days when Jerome Powell gets up on the mic after every Federal Reserve meeting.
Oh yeah. That's true. Framing tone and narrative, man. It's just it's all campfire stories, guys. But it's like the campfire stories. What is the purpose of a campfire story? To make you feel, right? And what is making other people feel? Making other people feel is manipulation. Manipulation can be positive, it could be negative, it could be neither, it could be something else. It all depends on how you interpret it.
If you want a dumber example, there are noticeable swings in betting markets before and after UFC press conferences before fights, based on how fighters look and react at the press conference. Yes.
Ah. Yes,
Am I
confidence and
saying that
vibes.
makes sense? Maybe. Probably not.
Kind
though.
of.
Is it there?
Well,
Does it
so
exist? Do people do it? Yes.
yeah, I mean, it makes people are good. I need to breathe more. People are making bets on the things they can interpret. They're like, oh, my gut is telling me something. Gut tell me something sometimes saves me from getting eaten by the cougar, or sometimes stops me from like getting mauled by a bear or something. So it's like people will make a lot of decisions based on their gut feeling.
That's true.
But the language alone, the framing, the tone, and the narrative, like these are how you get people to feel things. And what this book is all about is, regulating the feelings and stuff. I got a devil's advocate question for you here. Do you think
Yeah.
Tony is overselling personal control? Do you think he's going too far with it?
I would actually argue no, because
No.
he didn't put a ton of like direct caveats and like grains of salt in there like I do when I'm
Yeah.
coming into reviewing this book. But everything, all the foundational blocks that you need to draw those lines of thought exist. Like
Mhm.
he talks about, like, even the opening again, he talked about where he was before he did this system to get to the rest of it. He's already working like a maniac, already decently successful, just wasn't like breakthrough successful. I think that, is it kind of counterintuitive to a sales pitch when you start putting in, here are the limits? I think that it is. And is the book a little bit of a sales pitch for himself, the book, and then the methodology? Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
But at the same
yeah.
time, though, I think that a reasonable person can come to these conclusions. And I think that the folks that are going to take this to infinity, I think those are they're far and few between, but they're they're very vocal, they're very public about what they do. And I think that the average populace looks at that and says, yeah, these are the crazy people. They missed the message. They missed the boat. They jumped the shark. They went too far.
Yep.
So, like, in the book, does he do a great job of trying to put it in context? He does a decent job. Doesn't tell you like the limitations and give you everything else behind it. Like, hell, how long is it on Audible? It's like an hour. And then his full YouTube video, which is a compilation of a bunch of stuff, is like 6 hours. It's like, yeah, no, he's got a lot to get through. He's not going to go into all that in that time span.
Yeah, the audiobook is actually the final part of the seminar and the final part of the book that's on YouTube. So it's like, I noticed this when I was rewatching the YouTube over and over again. It's like, oh, wait, I've heard this on Audible like 3 times. So, yeah. Oh, man. Shoot, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. You were talking about crazy people or something.
Well, you asked the devil's advocate argument, which is that does Tony do a good job of actually getting you to understand the limitations? And I said, I think there's enough context clues that you can draw from it, especially if you're a reasonable person. But the overall, if you're trying to pitch the idea, trying to hamstring yourself in the sales pitch itself, I think is just not very prudent, shall we say?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And if you're going to do anything, oversell, you lose a lot less people to overselling than you do to underselling. So that's there as well. What do you think about like the ethics of like the things like anchoring and pattern interruption and stuff? Can that stuff be used manipulatively? Can people take the stuff that's in this book and use it to bad ends? Is that something that crossed your mind?
You can't do it manipulatively because that would infer some sort of outside presence. I think you can do it self-destructively, which is that like if like the triggers or things you're trying to attach to getting in that mental state are not good at a baseline for you, then yeah, it could be that. It's kind of like the idea of you're trying to hype yourself up like before a fight, sporting event, something you're trying to like get some adrenaline pumping for. Yeah, if you slap yourself, you'll be fine. If you start doing things that are actually going to like damage you or be detrimental to your performance, then yeah, that's just self-sabotage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of a quote I heard one time. There's a pickup artist, and he was talking about when he goes and dates new girls, when they do something really good or awesome, he lights a birthday candle and blows it out. So that way they smell like, birthday candle smoke. And then he says like, yeah, I'm gonna be in this bitch's head if she ever breaks up with me. Anytime she goes to a birthday party, anytime she turns another year older, it's like every time there's a birthday candle getting blown out, she's gonna think of me. Which it could be good, it could be bad. It depends on where you go with it. But it's like I guess that'd be an example of
Is that using
the
the same
anchoring.
like neural reprogramming? Yes.
Mhm.
Is that what the book talks about? No, the book does not talk about you anchoring other people. It talks about you
Yeah.
anchoring yourself.
Yeah. I suppose the principle can be just like extrapolated outwards.
Yeah, but no, this is a real thing. You can do it to good or bad ends. I had a roommate
Yeah.
do it to me. back when I was-
Really?
yeah, it was it was funny. Was
I'm
living
curious
with
now.
was living with a friend, and she started doing. She actively thought about doing this, and she was like, when Z is gonna be nice to me and be really helpful today, I'll make him a milkshake, and if he doesn't, then I won't. And then she was like, "Yeah, I did this to you for like 4 or 5 months. Did you notice?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't notice." And I was like, "Did it work?" And she's like, "Kinda." And I was
That's
like,
cool.
I guess it didn't work that well.
I mean, that sounds like a positive one, like
Yeah.
it's good to reward the behavior that we want to see in the world. And this is something that I tell everybody that I'm around. It's like, hey, if you do something that I like, I'm going to reward you. I'm going to tell you thank you. I'm going to tell you I appreciate that. I'm going to give you a pat on the back or a dollar bill or a shiny new trinket or something like that. Like it is important, I think, to reinforce the behavior that we want to see in the world. So I applaud her efforts in making you good job milkshakes or something like that. I think that's pretty funny and cool.
Oh, it's hilarious now. I laugh about
Yeah.
it to this day. I believe the
It's
technical
awesome.
word I'm looking for is operant conditioning, is the name for that. But
Okay.
yeah, it's good. And if you want to extrapolate a little bit further with like what you were talking about, which is rewarding people with just like, I don't know, thank you or being nice to them. Some
Yeah.
might call that, I don't know, operating in a polite society. So you reinforce good behavior so that you get more of it instead of the bad stuff. It's like,
Mhm.
there you go. It's really not all that crazy of a concept. It just depends how far you take it.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. We should do the things that we want to see in the world, and we should we can use this power for good. With great power comes great responsibility. All
Yeah,
right.
you know.
I got a personal question here. The author defines personal power as the ability to take action. Do you have an area in your life where you have the knowledge to succeed, but you've struggled to take consistent action?
I mean, I guess the obvious answer is could always probably be trying to do more for Degen Roundtable stuff, which is
Mhm.
like technically, do I have the time and expertise and information? Yeah, there is that. But at the same time, though, I understand
There's
that I
only
can't.
so much fuel to burn that fire, broski. Trust me.
There's,
Like between you and
yeah,
me,
there's
I
only so
feel
much to
like
talk about.
I'm always running on empty. I'm not running on empty. I'm like I am filling the tank and then I run the tank down and then it's like, oh, I better fill that tank again. So I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah,
I do feel the same way. It's like, man, I really should change that intro because we don't really have 10 people anymore. We have basically 4.
much shorter intro, huh?
It's like much shorter intro. Will, Zenith, Brendan, sometimes Agent J, sometimes Dace. It's like
Yeah,
oh wow, look at that. The 3 Degens. There once were 10, there now are 3. It is, like everyone's doing their things and stuff, but like do you think so to bring it back, you think that you can do more for the or like you think you can do like better quality or like is it K selective, R selective? Have you thought about that?
I think it's
Quality, quantity?
which ones are? Is that quantity?
I can never get those two right.
The
Let me
rest
check.
is to genetic
Okay,
breeding
it's
strategy.
R
Well,
selective. Yeah.
I think it's
R
quality.
is rapid and then K is quality. Okay. Yeah, K
Yeah,
is
R.
quality. Because
Rapid.
K stands for quality.
Hear me out. Do I think we make good quality stuff? Yeah, I would argue that we do. I mean, hell, we
Mhm.
read books once a week just to talk about them for 2 hours. And then
Yep.
additionally, we source all the different articles and find specific video clips and stuff for the Sunday shows. And
I
then
can't
also we
believe you
try to
guys do that stuff. Y'all do great with that. I just gotta say, like I almost never look for articles or anything, and I'm just like, oh man, what happened this week? Boy, I hope something happened. I guess I'm gonna find out. Let's talk to the boys.
yeah, and I would hope that the audience would be in agreement with us on this one, which is like Do we find articles? Yes. Do we straight up read articles on stream and that is the entire conversation? No. The other half of it is that we're here to have the discussion about the article, the context in which it lies, and what are the implications surrounding it. So is
Yep.
quality an issue? No. I'm more referring to the quantity, which is like, could we live stream every day? Yeah, technically we probably could. Is that the best way to do it? I would argue no. And I think that having the balance on the schedule is very good. No. Call me
We have-
crazy. Tell me
we
if you want
have,
more Will and Z streams.
Well, we always want more Will and Z streams, but there's
Oh,
only so much
absolutely.
Will and Z there is to go around, especially like we
Yeah.
both have day jobs too, is like the thing. It's like this damn crypto hasn't made us rich to where we can afford to stop working. Or at least I was speaking for myself. I presume you're in a similar boat as I am, but fuck if I know.
Still have a day
We've
job,
got
yes.
We've got a comment from Mr. Moondog here. Sounds like I have more time to give to the 3 Degen still kicking and help make it at least 4, especially for book club. Glad to step up. Broski, anytime you see a book that you like that we're talking about, like feel free to hop on. I'm going to try and put more of the StreamYard links in the book club Telegram. So that way the people that are like interacting and reading or like at least just know that it exists. You guys are always free to hop on stream. If you know the things that we're talking about, like the more the
Oh, yeah.
merrier. In my opinion.
Yeah, and
And
Moondog, you absolutely kill it in the chats, by the way.
oh yeah,
We love seeing you on book club every time. It's always a lot and really good insight. So it's always appreciated. Don't discount yourself
absolutely.
for a second there.
And earlier he had said we did the stream on Mafia on Wednesday. We did a 3-hour stream and we covered the fuck out of it. And it's like now saying feel like quitting Mafia even after Wednesday's stream and spending 6 figures on it. And I just did because it's within my power to secure future peace, and we'll update shills in Telegram. So there you go. It's like I guess he just quit Mafia, and it's like, well, that's fucking there you go, dude. You have the ability to change your future and to decide what you want to spend your time on, and he just said so right there. So that's freaking cool, man. Mafia is it's a really neat tool. It's a really neat game, and it's like that, man. There's so many things in life that are cool that I just don't have time for, and I just don't have time to learn about and time to do. So totally relatable. So that's excellent. Will do, especially since literally today a mafioso told me I was easier to listen to than reading. I will agree. And this is one of the fantastic things about your posts, Moondog, is that it is difficult to read, and in so doing, it forces me to think, which like causes me to do work, which like proof of work model makes the message more valuable if I do the work to read it. Just like the people that have to crack open the peanuts in order to eat the peanut, like they enjoy the peanuts more than the guy that just buys a bag full of nuts at the store. Like they care about each individual nut like a different level because there's been a sacrifice to offset the value that is gained on the other side. So like reading your listening to you is definitely easier than reading your notes. And I will say like even I get lost in them sometimes, and I will occasionally take them and throw them into ChatGPT. I'm not ashamed to say that I get help, outside help sometimes to try and decipher, but that's good. And yeah, to be succinct-ish, there's still opportunity there, but the dev has just stolen his time during a book club, which wasn't his to take. So, well, there you go. The dev has stolen Mr. Moondog's time, which happened. I guess and this kind of ties in with everything we've been talking about today. There's so much like emotional irregulation that's going on, or lack of regulation regarding emotion happening in the cryptosphere, in the crypto world. And it's like, if people are going to take things from other people because they get upset about stuff, and it's like, well, damn, I'm sorry to hear that he has taken your time. But the important thing is like you can take that and you can reframe it into a lesson of like, oh, I just learned that this person is not trustworthy. So if I give them less, then I will lose less by interacting with them. So
yes, sir.
Most excellent. Most excellent. Most excellent. All right. It's time for some advice, everybody. The next time you feel tired or unmotivated, try this experiment. Stand up, pull your shoulders back, take 3 deep breaths, and put a big smile on your face for 60 seconds. What change, if any, do you think you will notice in your emotional state? Do you think that'll work, Z? I think it'll work.
I know it'll work. You know why?
Yeah, I know it'll work. Because you fucking do it at work.
Well, not just that, but we do it with a bunch of other stuff too. You want to feel motivated? Yeah, it's a good one. Get some
Yep.
extra oxygen in there, put a smile on your face, you'll start to feel a little happier. That'll make you a little more motivated to do it. I know that this works because outside of just doing it yourself, we also do it for plenty of other things. Like even
Yeah.
personally, back in the days when I was pole vaulting and still being a track athlete, before I
Wait, you
go,
did pole vault too? Have we talked about pole vault before? I used to pole vault.
hey, there you go. Yeah, pole vault was
Holy
number one,
shit.
and I became a decathlete because I had dabbled in everything else as well.
Oh,
But
that's right.
yeah, but
You and my father, bro, super similar. Sorry, continue with your story.
But like, so the mental state and building the mental state from your physical state. It's like you want to get aggressive with your posture. You want to even take it further, start getting aggressive with your actions. Like, I don't know, slap your thigh, clap your hands, like hype yourself up, do stuff like that. It'll get you ready to go. And like literally you will perform better. I'm just saying. Yeah, exactly that. I know I play tennis a little bit just for fun with friends and stuff. And one of my
Yeah.
friends was like, were you talking to yourself? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, I was on the other side of the court and I thought it was the wind, but I heard mumblings of someone else. And I turned over and it was just you like in the corner away from everyone, just like, all right, lock the fuck in. Here we go.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. It's like intuitively, do people know that this stuff works? Yes. Is it kind of silly to hear out loud and like describe it and do it in a conference room full of other people? Yes, absolutely, for sure. But at the same time, like, you know, it works. You do it already. Just figure out how to like understand why it works and what you can apply from that to the rest.
Bro, I have admittedly several, like, this has happened dozens of times on Degen Roundtable. I've showed up into the green room feeling like dog shit. It's been a terrible day or whatever the hell, and I'm like, man, fuck this stream, fuck the Degen Roundtable, I'm out, I'm done. And then like somebody else hops in the green room and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, man, you faking motherfucker, you just keep going, don't let them notice, don't let them catch on. And then eventually, like, you keep acting in a positive and happy way, and you know, like eventually you get into that positive state of mind. You get rid of the funk. You like, you know, I've started streams tired before, done all sorts of crazy stuff, but if you just fake it, eventually you can find yourself there, and you can make it absolutely moondog. Breathe, can conscious smile, attention switching, gratitude grounding, or gratitude, yeah, gratitude. gratitude, fuck yeah, dude. I love it. And we got Mr. West, by the way. Sup, Degen gang. I'll catch you on the replay after I get off work. Good to fucking see, broski. Go out there, fix those broken people. Make them. I believe he works in some sort of medical industry. For those of you guys that are wondering what the fuck I'm saying, good to see you, Mr. West. And then Moondog back on the stream of conscious messages, bro. To be honest, when I try to read shit I wrote before in streams of consciousness, even I go, "What the fuck was I even? And why so dense?" Like at myself. That's hilarious, dude. That's so fucking awesome. I love it. That's crazy good. But yeah, like you know. Oh shit, we got fucking New to God Plankton. What's up, New to God Plankton? Good to see you, broski. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chats. Welcome, motherfucker. You've been able to catch a show. We're talking about positivity and neurolinguistic programming and all sorts of great Tony Robbins, unlimited power stuff going on. And like, yeah, bro, like to bring it back to what we were talking about, Zenith, like the going and the physically doing the stuff to pump yourself up, like it totally works. You know, do a 5-minute session of the Wim Hof breathing stuff where you just take 30 deep breaths and then you hold for 30 seconds. Then you take 30 deep breaths and you hold for a minute. Then you take 30 deep breaths and you hold for a minute and a half. And it's like, holy shit, my fucking red blood cells are supercharged with oxygen right now. I feel great. I feel awesome. And it's just like, you really can just, you know, totally change your state by changing your physicality. And I think that's fucking awesome.
Agreed.
Let's see. We didn't really talk about meta programs. That was something that was kind of important. I don't really want to cover it too much. Do you think? Oh man, fucking New to God Plankton. If you think it's all in your head, you're right. Absolutely. Zenith, did you have a thought there?
Nope.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Let's see. You know what? We don't need any more actionable questions and things. I think that we've done a pretty damn good job of covering this book. Zenith, do you think people should read this book?
Yeah, I think it's a good book. if you were asking me where would I would place it on our 0 to 10,000 hours scale,
That was
well,
my
here's what I'll
follow-up.
say. I think that the book is good from trying to learn how to manage yourself a little bit better. I think that also understanding the caveats of the book, which is that this is not a replacement. This is a supplement. It's an addition to everything else you're doing. I think that is an important caveat. Like your devil's advocate question asked there, I don't know, comes out directly in the reading, but the pieces are there and you can figure it out if you're a smart person, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure all you guys watching out there are. So yeah, I don't doubt it. So
They got good taste. They're watching
Yeah.
us. Obviously, they're smart.
So is it worth reading? Yeah, good principles. It'll introduce you to neuro-linguistic programming. It's actually putting the name to the thing that you've already been doing. So it's nice to learn what it's actually called. And then outside of that, yeah, good principles. Again, I really like the modeling aspect. The modeling concept comes with the idea that you want to kind of imitate what other people are doing, but at the same time, having some experience is going to help you understand what is successful, what is unsuccessful, how you would even improve the model itself. So because of that, I would say, yeah, this is a book worth reading. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of split on where I put it on the 0 to 10,000 hour scale. Part of me says this is very basic and very good information to get you started, and it will help you all along the process. At the same time, though, part of it does require you to have skills and experience and understand what exactly it is that you're doing. So I would be tempted to either put it at like the 100-hour mark or maybe like the 500-hour mark. Either way,
I
it's
think
still pretty
that's-
early on. It's very applicable to most people out there and easy to understand as well, which is nice about how the guy writes and does the audiobook.
Yeah. I would tend to agree. I would put it at about the 100-hour mark. I think that's the spot that I would want it to go. Like, you can get a lot out of this book right smack dab in the beginning. So that's my thoughts about it. Read this book early on. It will help you. That's what I got. Mr. Zenith, where can the folks find you, and what have you got going on in the near future, amigo? And
Folks,
do you
can
have a
find-
book for the next?
Well, next week
next-
we are going to be doing
that's
our annual review. However, I do have my next book. We're going to
Okay.
finish the trilogy. Alex Hormozy has put it out. We have $100 million models, I believe is the name of the book. Yes. Wow.
Oh,
Funny how
shit.
that lines up. $100 million models, the final installment in the $100 million series. We've liked both of them a lot. So I'm very excited to see this one and see what he has to say. Thankfully, it's only 3 hours and 40 minutes at one time speed, and it's on Audible.
Wow.
So yeah, very, very much looking forward to that one. That one's probably going to be our first book of 2026. Crazy to say, but yeah, that's what we got going on. And by the way, if you want to catch these book club streams for our annual review next time and $100 million models the time after, you can find those here at the Degen Roundtable every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then additionally to that, we do have our Sunday show coming up, 8 p.m. Eastern time as well. It's when we do all of our streams, by the way. But Brendan is putting me to work on this one because government and legal analyst has to talk about the Solana/Pump.Fund lawsuit. And there's an update on the Hawk Tuah or Haley Welch lawsuit as well. I know, a lot of interesting and salacious things going on. So that's what you can expect on Sunday, in addition to a lot more. We did get some CPI numbers. So yes, we're going to slide in that data there too. But outside of that, we have the Whiskey Wednesday show coming up. That is going to be on Christmas Eve. So we're going to have to discuss whether or not that's actually going to happen. And I feel bad because I put it off this week because you and Moondog did the Mafia stream, but we do also have Mr. Angry Twinkie lined up for a special guest episode. We're going to be talking about a theory that's been floated, which is, have we transitioned from 60-day cycles to 80-day cycles? He and I have done the math. We've done the statistical analysis, and we're going to discuss all of that and more whenever we get him on next. But that is what we got going on. Outside of that, you can find me personally over on X and Instagram at ZenithDI, or more importantly, you can find me and Will and the rest of the gang and all you guys in the awesome community by scanning the QR code right down there to get into the Telegram. Inside of there, you'll find the general chat and all of our sub channels, which have a lot of fun stuff, whether it's the Shills channel, the memes channel, or the Pew Pew channel, or even some games going on. Yeah, please get in there. Hit up anybody that you want inside of that community. We've cultivated it to be an excellent place to hang out and learn, and also just, have a good bit of fun along the way. That is all I got. Mr. Will Stevenson, where can the folks find you, and what do you have going on in the near future?
The folks can find me. I'm currently in DeQueens, Arkansas, which I just realized my entire show I've had FAC underneath my name. I mostly deleted Fairbanks instead of it's Fairbanks, Arkansas, instead of typing in the new one. I just totally forgot about it. So you guys can find me in DeQueens, Arkansas, where I am taking down a little bitty baby 400-foot tower. This is a very unusual D stack, but it'll be fun. And then after that, I'm going to make my way to the Pacific, not the Pacific, the Atlantic Northeast, the other side of the country. So I'm going to be heading up there for the Christmas times. I'm going to go check out my house up in New Hampshire. I'm going to go see some friends, go hang out, have fun. It'll be a good Christmas in the Northeast area. So that's what I'm doing after my tower here is done. I decided this today, so that's what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it. As far as my socials, though, if you guys want to stalk me, you can find all of my socials at will.pls.fyi. That is where everything is linked from. You can find my OnlyFans. You can find my Fansly. You can find my Pornhub. You can find my X videos. You can find all of my porn profiles, which are, let me tell you, there's a bunch of them. So that's where you can find everything. Will.pls.fyi.
Will is apparently trying to model Johnny Sins. Okay.
There you go. Model Johnny Sins. I'm already bald, so I figure, I will say that the reason that I went with the bald and the beard haircut is because I've just seen so many like bald bearded people that are like iconic and famous. I'm like, that's a look that I can pull off. The mohawk thing isn't working for me anymore. So on the modeling subject, I was like, oh, other people can pull off the beard and the bald thing. I can do that. And I added my own little flair, like mostly shaving off the mustache part and doing the other thing. But modeling is important. So anyways, that's where you guys can find me. You guys heard all the stuff here. Remember to join the Degen Roundtable Telegram at t.me/DRT join now. And that's it, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for playing. I hope you come back next time. And I want to thank you all for spending your valuable time with us here on the Degen Roundtable. As Agent Jay often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you spending that asset right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the Degen Roundtable, and I'm the producer, so I'm getting my trigger finger ready because it's time to go and click that button and remind all the folks at home to remember to Degen responsibly.